This one is for the fellas. Maybe you're one of those guys that really don't know how to cook, you don't know where you're around the kitchen, but you want to impress your woman with something amazing for Valentine's. Now, if you're like me, I hate going out to eat on Valentine's because, for one, I used to be in the food business. I know the prices are quadrupled. It's hard to get in, hard to get out. It's just become so commercialized these days. And honestly, I never go out on Valentine's. For me, cooking comes easy because, that's what I do. But I've realized that for a lot of people, that's just not the case. I want to give you a hack that's going to make you look like you did something amazing. And I don't know how many of you out there are parents, but when you bring your first kid home, there are just so many emotions and exhaustion, and you're tired and all these things are happening. You're not getting sleep. And then you have this little tiny human that you're responsible for. And it's just overwhelming, the emotions that you feel. Now, I came up with this hack almost purely out of desperation. In 2014, my daughter, Lula Mae, was born. But the day after we brought Lula Mae home from the hospital, my beautiful wife, Haley, was craving chicken Parmesan. Now, we had a problem because we live north of Birmingham. There's no decent Italian north of Birmingham. To get her some chicken Parmesan, it would have taken me 45 minutes to and fro, so an hour and a half, 2 hours. It would have taken me a couple hours just to travel into or past Birmingham to get her the chicken Parmesan that she desired. On the other hand, I know how to make chicken Parmesan, a really good one, but I knew everything that was involved in it, and I was so tired and so sleepy that I couldn't bring myself to go get the stuff to do it. But then you start questioning yourself, or I started questioning myself, what kind of selfish human am I? This is my wife who just spent 13 hours giving birth to my child. And so out of sheer desperation, I came up with a hack that I want to share with you that you can use for Valentine's to make your lady feel like something special. I made this for Haley, and you see how easy it is. She said it was the best chicken Parmesan that she ever had, which hurt my feelings a little bit because she's had my chicken Parmesan before. And I know there ain't many times where we go get the party started at Walmart, but that's where this one starts. Alright, so they got it going on with all the Valentine stuff. They just don't know what we know. We got the real treat. I'm not a big fan of bottled up pasta sauce, but when you're in a hurry, you got to do what you got to do. Alright, I'm at Chick-fil-A to pick up the final ingredient.
Can I have a name for you today?
James.
What can I get there for you?
Can I get 2 of the 6-count chicken strips?
6-count chicken strips?
Yeah.
We only have 3 and 4s.
Oh, give me 2 4s.
2 4s? Would you like the strips or just the meal?
Just the strips.
2 4-counts. Anything else for you today? Any sausage?
No, that'll do it.
It's going to be $12.74. There you go. You have a blessed night.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Good. How are you? Yes. Thank you. And now we're ready to go home and get crunk. Alright guys, we made it back. We got our delicious goodness from Chick-fil-A. We got a package of angel hair pasta. 1 jar of tomato sauce from Walmart. We've got some shredded Italian cheese. And we got a thing of shaved Parmesan cheese. Now I'm going to get ready to show you what to do. I know some of the food purists are going to be coming at me for this. This is a hack for people that don't know how to cook. And this is also a hack for people that are in a hurry and need to do something delicious but don't have the time to do it. Then get ready and put together a meal that's going to make her so happy she'll forget she ever knew another Valentine. Alright guys, so we're going to get our mise en place together, everything we need to get started. We're going to need a pot to cook our spaghetti in. We're going to need an oven-safe dish. I've chosen a pie plate that I got that's red just because it's red and it looks like Valentine's. Then you're going to need something to strain your spaghetti out with, a pair of heavy tongs, and then we've got all our ingredients we picked up today. We got our Chick-fil-A. We've got our Italian-style shredded cheese, tomato, basil, garlic pasta sauce, and we've got our shaved Parmesan cheese. We're getting ready to put this thing together. Party's about to happen up in here. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to preheat our oven. So I'm going to put this to 425. If you've got a roasting option, I like to use those. Oh, and then before I start getting some comments, also we got some olive oil and a little bit of sea salt for our pasta. All right, then we're just going to add a little bit of water to our pot. I like to get it about a little over halfway full. Plenty of room for things to happen. Alright, so if you're one of those like food purist people, this is probably gonna like aggravate you and maybe even piss you off a little bit. The only thing you need to add to your water to cook pasta is just a little bit of salt. You don't even need that much salt. It is a myth that adding oil to water is somehow going to keep your pasta from sticking. Most of the time, pasta sticks because people don't stir it. But I would say 100% of the time, if you're putting oil in your water to cook pasta, you're wasting your money and you're wasting your oil. Now, it doesn't hurt if you want to do it, but you're actually not getting anything out of it. And I learned that from an authentic Italian chef. So just all you need is a little water, a little salt, get in there, get it done, and you're in the game. All right, so while we're waiting on our pasta water to come to a boil, we're going to go ahead and put our chicken together. At the end, I am keeping track of the time. I'm going to give you the time it took to actually do it, which is very minimal. All right, so we got our pie plate here. Now to this, I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil across the bottom just to keep things from sticking. And then just take a little spoon, spread that out a little bit. And then to that, I'm just going to get our tomato sauce. Now, you don't want to like drown this in tomato sauce where it's just tomato sauce for days. So we're just going to do a little drizzle. And that's about enough to keep the bottom, moist. All right, and into that, we're going to get out our Chick-fil-A chicken strips. Just going to lay them out. Now I got 2 4-counts. Now I got 2 4-counts just because if I'm going to eat chicken Parmesan, I want to eat enough to eat. You know what I'm saying? But you want them layered in a way where you can get them out. So let's go in 2s. 2, 2, and 2. So we only use 6 of them. But then we can add one more portion to each of them. And I don't know if you've ever ate Chick-fil-A chicken, but it is it's where it's at. As far as good, as far as just taste and flavor for chicken, All right, and into that, we're just gonna add some of our tomato sauce. I always don't try to like completely coat it, like where it's just totally covered and bathed in tomato sauce, because you're gonna want to save just a little bit of this for your spaghetti anyways. Just drizzle that over that, just enough to give it a good taste. All right, then, once we got that done, we're gonna add on our Italian cheese. So in this, you wanna, again, don't cover it up so much that you can't see what it is. If you like extra cheese, kind of pile it in on top like that. And that'll help you have a greater presentation in the long run. When you get to the end of it, it's gonna look like something that came out of a restaurant. All right, our water's boiling, our oven is preheated. We're just gonna pop that bad boy in the oven for about 15 or 20 minutes. You wanna take him, just pop him right in the oven, center part. See you in about 15 minutes, buddy. All right, so the way I do it, don't just dump your pasta in there like you're like some kind of like crazy person. You want to make sure you get probably about a third of that package of angel hair. We'll take that, and I like to go ahead and just pop mine in half, turn them one way, turn them the other way, and then we'll just start stirring it. You don't have to constantly stir this, but you're going to have to come back and check on it a few times just to make sure that your pasta is not sticking together. I usually, once it gets going the first time, give it a little stir, wait about 5 or 6 minutes, come back. All right, so our pasta's come up. I have not stirred it again. People have weird different ways of testing pasta to see if it's done. I always say if you really want to know, pick up a piece and find out. But I can usually tell just by the texture. Like that's angel hair. He's ready. So our strainer's ready. Just going to pour pasta in there. Now then I'm just going to put a little bit of water on my pasta. I always cool my pasta off, whether it's macaroni I'm finna serve the kids, we're gonna eat it right now, or if it's something I'm prepping for a party. The reason for that is once you take it out of the water, this is made out of flour and oil and usually eggs. Some of it has eggs, not all of it. But it basically continues to cook. Even after you take it off the heat, it continues to cook. So you want a little bit of cold water to get in there. It's just gonna bring it back down to temperature so it can stay where you want it. And this is where we want it, a nice firm, some people call it al dente. I actually cook mine, if you're Italian, don't get mad. I like to cook mine a little past al dente. All right, and into that, this is where we use our oil. So we're just gonna add some olive oil on that. And you can use different kind of oils. Olive oil just has a nice flavor for it. And a lot of times when I'm doing stuff for my kids, olive oil just has a nice flavor, beautiful flavor. I'd rather use olive oil for something like this than to cook with it, just because it has such a low heat point. But now when I'm doing stuff for my kids, olive oil can be a little bit strong. A lot of times I'll use just like melted butter on their noodles, and they love it. We're gonna return our spaghetti to the pot that we cooked it in, and then we're gonna put it on low. Then we're gonna add the remainder of our spaghetti sauce, and we're gonna serve that with our chicken parmesan. And really all you're doing here is just stirring it up and giving the pasta a chance to heat up a little bit. All right, so our chicken parmesan's been in there about 10-12 minutes. Let's check on it, see what we got. Oh my goodness, look at there, look at there. Boy, look at there. Just gonna pull that out. Bring that back up to our little prep station. We got one more step. All right, so then we got our shaved Parmesan. Just gonna put that on there. I always try to do this while it's still hot so that it melts up a little bit, but it's not like too melted, if that makes any sense. It almost like kind of adheres to it, but it's not overly melted. She's gonna be so happy that you made her your Valentine. All right, guys, we got our chicken, we got our spaghetti. Now I want to show you how to plate it. All right, so I'm just gonna get in here and just kind of portion this out how I want it. If you just take the edge of a spatula or even a spoon and go across the edge, be able to pull up like a portion how you want it. Look at that. You can serve this with your spaghetti on the side, something like this. But if you do that, just pick it up with your tongs. Don't just throw it on there. Just kind of give it a little turn. And that's just one of those little chef tricks that makes it look sexy. So that's one way to do it. I mean, that's pretty cool. But then on your pasta, you want to add a little bit of your shaved Parmesan. Just kind of break it up a little bit. Maybe even a little bit more on your chicken Parmesan, just to make it look authentic and beautiful. But then I always keep fresh basil around. So you could do something like, just take a basil leaf, put it in there. Just to make it look more authentic, like you spent more time on it. Or you can chop it up, or I'll even show you how you can just smash it up with some scissors. So then another way to plate it is to take your spaghetti, get a nice twirl on it. And I keep saying spaghetti. Somebody's going to come along and say, the box said angel hair. But to me, spaghetti, linguine, angel hair, vermicelli, it's all spaghetti. You can do something like this and kind of puff it out. Then put down a little bit of cheese just for extra delicious goodness. And we can get us a piece of our chicken Parmesan. And this one, I'm just showing you how you can serve it over spaghetti. That way when you cut into it, a lot of Italian chefs do it like that. That way, when you cut into it, you get spaghetti and pasta at the same time. So just a couple ways you can do it. And then I said something about showing you how to do if you have some fresh basil leaves, if you grow basil or if you buy it from the store, take it and roll it up like that. And now if you already know how to chop basil, this is not for you. This is a hack. Just take your scissors and see how you get those pretty little chiffonades come through there. And that gives it a lot of, that gives it a little more passion. Makes it look a little more beautiful. All right, well, I'm just gonna call my wife and we're gonna eat this. It's not Valentine's yet, but we're gonna eat this because it is looking off the chain. We're about to make her forget she ever knew another Valentine. All right, fellas, there you have it. A his and hers chicken Parmesan hack that anybody can make. I spent $21 in total, and you throw a little salad with this, some garlic bread, and you're in the game. Hope you guys have a fantastic Valentine's no matter what you're doing. If you decide to make this for your lady, let me know about it. I'd love to hear about it. Well, all right, guys, there we have it. I tried to get Haley to come down here and eat it on the video with me, but you know how girls are. She's not ready to put on her good clothes and her makeup's not fixed. And besides, she said, it's not Valentine's yet. I'm going to put her in the game, but before I leave, I've got to do something that I learned from Chef Patrick Quillek, who's a man that I greatly admired, especially in the food world. Chef Patrick told me from day one, you do not make any food that you don't taste and eat yourself. So I'm going to give this a little taste test, make sure you know my chicken Parmesan game still in the game. hope you enjoyed this video, and if you got anything out of it, please like and subscribe, and even hit the little bell if you want to get notifications so you never miss a recipe. And hey, if you got friends that could use this, please share it with them. You can copy the link, post it onto your social media, or you can just copy the link and put it in a text. It takes about 10 seconds to do that. Now, there's some common misconceptions out there about what it means to subscribe to a YouTube channel. I just had a conversation with some of my very best friends who have been watching every video, but they wouldn't hit the subscribe button because they thought it meant something, that they were going to have to do something. Their mind was blown. I told them, hey guys, you don't have to buy anything, you don't have to pay anything, you're not like subscribing like you're subscribing to something that's going to take money out of your bank account. You're just helping me raise the algorithm so that I can do more videos like this and help other people. So if this has helped you, please like and subscribe. And now, just piggybacking on Chick-fil-A, since they're the main ingredient of this recipe, it was my pleasure to share this hack with you. And for more, look me up on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, Chef James K. Jones. And we all know stories are powerful. I've chosen to share my story on a podcast platform. Look up the Straight Outta Prison podcast. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Straight Outta Prison podcast. My name is James K. Jones, and this is my story.
And I am Haley Jones, and this is his story that has now become a part of my story.